Okay, so I'm back with the Mars entering into the sign of Libra transit that is going to be happening starting August the 6th all the way up until September the 22nd. And this is that time of year where, we are bringing our focus and our attention back around to relationships. So a heavy focus on relationships. And also this, guys, seeing the beauty in the process, because here we can find ourselves reestablishing a certain aspect of hope. Taking our experiences, whether it be with other people that we've had or just our journey, the process of it, and seeing the overall beauty inside of it, because those experiences shaped us and made us into who we are today, or the person we are today. And if it's something that you have not came to terms with yet, over this next month, that is going to be trigger points for quite a bit of us, really seeing how a certain involvement have definitely played a part in the person that we've become today. And not only that, confronting these issues and these situations and really thinking about the way we moving forward. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Handling yourself with grace, and handling ourselves right now with grace and a level of fairness is going to be a significant way to operate through Mars and Libra. So yeah, it's not a lot of head on, moving fast, breezing through life and through our situations and motivations without really thinking about our moves. As a matter of fact, thinking about the way that we're going to moving forward is going to be critical navigating situations. So, for example, forming new relationships or rekindling relationships with past people, you have to really think about, okay, so this person, the part that they played in your life prior to you finding yourself where you're at today. What were the experiences that you had with them? Even certain types of people. Okay, well, this is a typical type that I go for. What are my usual outcomes dealing with these type of people? And just, you know what, guys, even on a universal level, I see this as things being corrected and made fair and made right. So this is where you see a lot of influence from the justice system, people suing, people seeking retribution, and actually winning if they have good grounds to stand on. So that's pretty interesting as well. But I also want to point out the fact that, yes, even though Mars is going to be entering into the sign of Libra, we have other transits that's going on along this at the same time. Alongside of this, a couple days after Mars enters the sign of Libra, Mercury is going to be finally going direct. August 11th, thank God. Actually, Mercury works really, really well with the Libra energy anyways. But aside from that, not only that, Mercury in Leo is sextiling Mars in Libra. So this is very good energy when it comes to being able to have focus, energy, and intent. So this is also important when it comes to communication, whether it be wanting to have a more clearer mind and being able to process our thoughts and what we're thinking, what is actually meaning for us, or whether it be used in networking situations and in mending relationships, communicating things more clear, because while Mercury's retrograde, it's so easy for miscommunications to take place, and it's just best to not really force issues that are not naturally acting and moving the way that they should. And the good thing about sextile energy is that it definitely moves in a certain flow and it's able to interact with each other. The two energies, when energies sextiles, they interact with each other in a very productive way. And, so people can see that their passions ignite once again. And, this is even when it comes to intimate and romantic relationships as well. So, I looked at that as a very positive transit for us all. And just even like I said, developments that we see in the world, people really addressing, pointing out. Now, I'm not going to say this is the best thing every single time, because you can have dramatic aspects to this that's playing out too, and that could be rather annoying. But people not just settling for the typical way things just go and just accepting injustices and mistreatments, they're more than likely around about this time to really speak out against that. And it's something that we're all feeling. It's like we all know things aren't really right. And, it's time to address them, as I should say. So this is another thing too. What we have to remember that is going on with this particular transit is Pluto is transiting the sign of Aquarius. Mars, well, we know Mars is in Libra, but Uranus is also transiting the sign of Gemini. And with these three planets in air signs, I feel that this is just about timing as well. We did the shift into the age of Aquarius, and we have other major aspects and components playing out to really usher that type of energy in. It's more of, entering into the age of technology and communications. So it's more of enlightening ourselves through information. But before we can really enlighten ourselves with information, it definitely has to be the right information. So, we really got to get down to what that really is and what that looks like right about now, because there's so much information out there. So it's really about seeing, what's been proven. But, it's very random as well. And also these communications and these advancements, this scientific approach could be rather cold when perceiving them and taking them in, or just looking at things just plainly as what they are. They can seem very cold in that way. So yeah, just understand that as well, and try to look at a lot of interactions that will be happening and playing out as a way to just evolve, because we're going to see this in the world right now. We see this. You guys see the tsunami that's taking place in Russia. That is pretty interesting, and I see it as a natural occurrence, because some years back I seen a map, an updated world map of what is going, how our world is reshaping due to the changes once again in tectonic plates and shifts. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So a lot of aspects like that are highly intriguing, but definitely affect us to the core. And it's something, I feel like a lot of what's happening right now in the world and the way it's playing out in our physical manifestation is we're feeling a lot of the changes associated with it's all working cohesively together, and definitely Uranus and Gemini. So Pluto and Aquarius shaking things up, Uranus and Gemini shaking things up. Both kind of, the approach seems differently, but honestly, they're playing out really the same. Also, what I wanted to mention is that Saturn is opposing Mars right about now. Saturn opposing Mars. Remember when I spoke of earlier about approaching situations, executing situations, thinking first, then acting. Thinking first, then acting. And maybe even justifying your thought process before you act, because Mars is in Libra. But not only is it because of Mars is in Libra, it is also because Saturn is opposing the sign of Mars. Saturn is in Aries. Although it's retrograde, it's still opposing Mars. So, you know, the way that I see it, if I see like oppositions as, especially to Saturn and other planets, the oppositions that Saturn makes with other planets, actually makes it harder, because it's harder for the person to navigate that energy wherever the energy is located and playing out in your charts. And this is the thing, and you got to look at the reason why you have to look at it like this in these terms is because Saturn is still transiting the sign or the planet. You know, Saturn is still transiting the sign, but it's opposing it. Saturn conjuncting a sign is making it to where it seems like there's challenges that you have to overcome and life gets serious, but still Saturn is backing the changes that is actually you to make. I put my glasses on. Now, when Saturn is opposing a sign, what ends up, or what typically happens, is the sign that is opposing, that energy wants to come forth. It wants to move like it moves. It wants to create things. Let's use Mars in this example. Mars wants to be able to move forward, to start things, to be energized and feel at its best. Well, when it already being in a sign of Libra is in more Mars acting in a more weakened state. However, the fact that Saturn is opposing it, what happens is, it's almost like Saturn's not backing what it is that you're putting forth. So you have to put forth that much energy and that much effort, you know? And it's easy to get yourself put in situations or make certain moves that actually work against us during this time, you know? And that's important to understand and to grasp with this Saturn opposing Libra. It's not all a bad thing. The good thing is Saturn being in Aries is definitely sextiling Pluto, and Uranus. It's sextiling those energies. So what we see is destruction, things being brought down in order to reestablish something meaningful, establish or incorporate the changes that the universe wants us all to understand, and where their energy is trying to usher us to go towards in our evolution process. Because the way that I look at this whole thing, like everything and how it's playing out, is definitely part of our evolution process. And a lot of times, guys, that looks like destruction. And the destruction comes in this way because typically when people are comfortable, they don't make change when they're comfortable. People make change when they're uncomfortable. And a lot of these transits that's going on right now is putting us in real uncomfortable situations. And a lot of people are really being called to step into their appropriate roles with the work that they do, with the job that they do, with what they represent. And then we're going to get into the full moon in Aquarius, but I'm really thinking about doing that video separate. Pluto will be conjuncting the full moon in Aquarius, and that is really asking us the question of where are our personal feelings, our subconscious mind, or should I say how is our personal feelings or our subconscious mind preventing us from allowing change to happen in our lives. And I will go over, what that means for each sign when I get there. But for now, let's see where these Mars in Libra, let's see where this transit is going and how it's playing out and how it's happening for each sign. I'm not going to make these too long, but go ahead. Like, I'm going to put the timestamp. It's really good if when you look at the intro to get like an overall understanding of how the energy is playing out, what it's representing, and then I can go and personalize it more when I do each sign. Now, and I've had some people comment on previous videos I did concerning transits, wanting to know specifically, is this for your rising or for your sun or for what? Take a look at your rising and sun. Maybe you take a look at your rising first and then come back and take a look at the sun to fill in the gaps. Okay. So thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, I'm going to post at the end of this video the August video I did for all signs concerning Venus entering into the sign of Cancer. All right. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Okay, so for Aries, Mars is definitely in your house of partnerships. So this Mars transit for you is nothing shy of other people, dealing with other people. And I'm talking about in a way to where these people are bringing new insight to you. This Mars and Libra is definitely transiting your 7th house and nothing shy of it. And so this means people. This means more relationship oriented, relationship focused. But it's the opposition from you. So this could mean that other people may be interacting with you from a place of wanting their needs met, or griping, like having some sort of gripe or issue with you in some way, shape, or form. And you can really be sticking to your guns in certain interactions. And I will say this, like, it just depends. You got to really be careful and be mindful in this transit, because there could really be certain situations that you come across that can prove more effective or beneficial to you when you're able to work with other people, and when you're able to come to some sort of agreement that works for you, that works for them, that works for all that's involved. But this is not saying that you should neglect yourself in the process, but, not surrendering where your stance on a situation and what it is that you want to have happen, but really just looking at what the person is saying, what it is that they're doing, because what a person is doing is definitely going to be important. Not just what they are saying, but what they are doing as well. If they're trying to engage you into a committed relationship or a partnership, however, understand that they have to be able to show and prove. They have to be able to show up in a way to where it's a mutual agreement and a mutual understanding, and it's mutually beneficial. So yeah, there's definitely a focus on relationships. I mean, in partnerships is crazy, and direct open enemy. So you guys could be getting into some arguments, or you're around people where arguments or disagreements is popping off. Now, this is the thing. I really do believe that all of you guys are not going to engage this particular energy in the way that maybe the way that I'm describing it, but this could be a good time too to have meaningful relationships. And also look out for people being so willing and so ready to sue. And if you have some sort of court case or something that is up, and you have some sort of court case or legal issues and matters that needs to be addressed or needs to take place, waiting for some sort of answers and decisions, I see that really playing out more around mid-August, and later. For one, Mercury definitely goes direct in the sign of Leo on August 11th. So yeah, and this is the thing. Overall, for you, Aries, you get to see the beauty. There is a beauty and a resilience in certain situations that you have went through and experiences that you had dealing with people. And if anything, the choices that you make from when this transit starts on and moving forward, one day you will definitely get to the place to where you see the beauty in it. So overall, it's definitely going to be beneficial for you, period. I will also say this, since Saturn is in your sign, Saturn is retrograde. I think it starts back in motion in August, at the end of August, if I'm not mistaken, or early September or something like that. But I just wanted to say and point out that really be mindful, because when Saturn is retrograde, what tends to happen is it tends to give a certain release and a relief of pressure. And then when we get comfortable and we start to feel like, okay, the coast is clear, and then it moves direct again, it starts its movement forward, or it starts its movement, and then we start to feel the pressure pile up again. So even though you're feeling like some sort of relief and pressure when it's dealing with yourself, issues pertaining to yourself, just life circumstances, even though it seems like there's some relief there, really try to continue on with the same momentum that you have been in, themes that you have been seeing playing out so far. Like, keep that same energy, because the thing that, and by all means, like, get your rest, enjoy your time, and all those lovely things. But I'm just saying, really keep that same energy up from what you've been shown, how you've been changing yourself, the way you've been doing it. Keep that up, because when Saturn proceeds with its motion, it's going to bring a little bit of pressure, and it's going to feel like a little bit of a challenge for you. All right. Thank you, Aries. Okay, so hello, Taurus. Thank you for joining me for the Mars transiting Libra planetary overview in the energy of this for you. Mars is transiting Libra in your 6th house of work and responsibilities. So this is the thing. You know, for you, work may take on, a caveat. Be careful of legal matters and legal situations pertaining to work and pertaining to your job. You know, look at the fine print, look at your rights, all of that, because that could be something that's in question or something that's coming up. Okay. Here, with Mars and Libra, work takes on a more interactive turn and focus. So working with others may be something that is definitely prevalent for you right now. And this is in a way to where it's like you're making deals with others. So if you're into sales, then you being able to speak with others and negotiate with them and giving them maybe deals, discounts, or if you're not doing that, how can your product or what you're selling bring beauty in the lives of your clients or of the people that you're working with? Okay, so right about now, Taurus, you could be seeing the beauty in the work that you do. And how, even though, let's say you're not at this place that you exactly want to be just yet, you are seeing growth though. And because of that, you could be seeing that what you went through, or how up until now, what you've been working on, you could be seeing how the beauty in it, the beauty in the challenges, the beauty in the setbacks. And some of you guys might be questioning a line of work that you're doing, or looking into ways to make some sort of gains, negotiate with other people, and as far as making money. And so this is about you thinking about this, a lot of thinking about the steps you're taking in work. Then there's issues when it comes to handling responsibilities. So some of you guys might have to have help from like a partner, a relationship partner, or someone else, like an outside source that acts like as a resource to help you with handling responsibilities, workloads. So working with other individuals and having some sort of equally shared workload right about now could be helpful. So, you know, I know it's that typical saying, one person plays this role and this is the role you have to play, and the other person plays this role and this is the role you have to play. Right now, that's not going to be the best approach for you. Okay? So, and yes, so someone in your life, this could be like a lover, someone you're married to, someone you're doing some sort of work with, like you work with. You're going to have to work at assisting each other. So where one person may fall short or can't handle a certain responsibility, then the other person have to, or you have to access your resources and be able to do so, like a good friend or a family member. But overall, with Mars being here, you can see your passions for work reignite or get restarted or reinitiated right about now. But your work is going to be requiring a lot of thinking too. Thinking about your next moves that you're going to make in work, in handling your responsibilities. Maybe even writing down what bills are due, what you have to accomplish, what your goals are. And I know this is not the 10th house, but this is work. And if you want to leverage it, if you want to do better, I look at this as you really got to think about your next steps and prepare yourself in this area. So with Saturn being retrograde in the sign of Aries, it's still in the sign of Aries, and it's actually opposing your 6th house directly because it's sitting in your 12th house. And because it's sitting in your 12th house, there could be unknown fears coming up or resurfing around relationships. And let's say you worked with a business partner in the past and you lost money due to misappropriated funds or mishandling of the money or the finances or the responsibilities. You're not going to be so likely to trust business partnerships and people in the future to work with them. But even though you really need the help. So I feel like this is more about strategizing. Okay, so what did you do? What did you not handle legally before that you can this time to make sure everything's in order? Okay, so if you are employing people, they have to sign contracts, business contracts, work contracts, responsibility contracts. Getting things up front and clear about expectations, right? So there's fear surrounding this. You could be feeling stuck on certain moves that you're trying to make because you feel like there's other circumstances surrounding the moves that you want to make, your motivations, how you go about it. I'm going to tell you that I get it because Saturn is in your 12th house, but really Saturn is trying to unmask for you what it is that you're not seeing. And it seems challenging because we always fear what we feel like we don't know, the unknown, what we can't see. But really, what is best for you is to take what it is that you're being shown and face it. And looking at the reality of situations. That's really the only way that you're going to tackle this and handle this and then make right on your responsibilities. Ask for help when you need help, not take too many things on, not remaining stagnant is really what is being asked of you, and just moving forward, taking your time, taking it easy, of course, and making it fair for yourself, even a workload. But right now, you guys, you could be seeing the beauty in what it is that you do for your work. And also, even if you have been working out, you have some sort of routine, you can really see like your body is changing into something beautiful, or you have a goal, you have something, a reference point. Okay? Because maybe you looked at other people that were successful in weight loss or weight training or whatever it is that you're trying to do. All right. Okay. So Taurus, I don't want to make it too long and I'm going to stop right there, but go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be back with more astrological transits. Okay. So Gemini, this Mars in Libra is transiting your 5th house of self-expression, talent, hobbies, gigs, love, following your heart. We have a lot of that going on, and you're really being stimulated in this area. And for the ones of you that decide that art, self-expression is something that you are particularly interested in, that you want to utilize, go right ahead, because not only is you're self-aware about this, but at the same time, Mars is here as well, fueling this and providing the energy for you to do so. And there's something around about this time about a specific or particular beauty that you exude that draws people in. And this is relationship. So you could be being a little bit loved right now, Gemini, getting some love, getting loved upon. I will say this for a caveat though. You're kind of iffy, because Saturn is in your 11th house of associations and friendship circles and people and affiliations and the type of hardships you've had in this area so far, it's really making you kind of second guess and take a look at how you're viewing your relationships. And even though, it's time to have some fun, Mars is here inside your fifth house, you're really navigating this with a shrewdness, a particular shrewdness that you typically would not do as a Gemini, and I find that to be particularly interesting to me. So people that is looking to partner with you in love, or in the area of entertainment, or supporting who you're becoming, they're really getting a side eye. They're really getting a side eye from you, but there. That energy is there. So the motivations, and this is the thing, a lot of you guys have to also look at too, if there's something that you're inventing or creating, you may need to put look towards an attorney or a lawyer, someone that can legally advise you on how to protect your entity that entity that you're creating and that your work that. So, in another thing, the ones of you guys that choose to be unique in expression and communicating that, even if you're like standing for some sort of just cause right now, or helping people, doing something that helps people too through your uniqueness, is going to be proved to be beneficial for you right about now. And this is what you're pursuing. You are putting time and energy and effort into the way that you look. This could also be you preparing a child as well to become their unique self, to step into their confidence, to understand who they are, working with children as well, and also trying to make that balance between, you doing things for yourself and then other matters that you have going on in your life will definitely be good. But you're going to see that what you have, your identity, because there's some of you guys that may not be changing your identity. It may not be changing. You could be doing the same thing that you've been doing all along, but people are starting to take notice of your uniqueness and the way that you express yourself. So communication is very, very, it's excellent for you right now. This is definitely sextiling your third house of communication in the way you think is particularly sexy right now, and unique and passionate. But not only that, you might be put in a leadership role, or you might have to take the lead in a situation, even in the relationship or just in your life in general. So you're thinking creative. That is brilliant. Like, you're thinking creative. You are highly intelligent. You are, and you're being noticed for that. I will say this too. Like I said, you might have to change some of your affiliations, or become very strict with your boundaries when it comes to people that really does not represent you in the best light right now. Putting a hold on that, focusing on the people too, and bring that energy more up into what you're doing, how you're expressing yourself, and how you're moving forward. Great. Your mind could be very, very active right now. And, those with creativity, or just even this helps with trying to retain information as well. So this is really good for some of you guys that have to take tests, and because you're being able to hold information. Like, your mind is really has a particular strength right now. And then not only that, you have Uranus transiting your sign. So the more that you can understand this, the more that you can embrace this brings in rapid changes for you. Even ones that you could have been trying to avoid, or you don't really want to do, or don't really want to face. It's like Uranus and Gemini is not letting that happen. We also have Pluto in Aquarius as well, that's working alongside this energy with your Mars and Libra. And that Pluto is working in your ninth house of experiences. It's working along with that, and it's making these changes. Like, you're about to start having new, out of the ordinary, unconceivable changes that puts you on the path of like living your dreams through unexpected ways and circumstances. This is why it's so important that you show up and be yourself right about now. This is why it's so important for you to do that and be as creative as possible. All right. Thank you, Gemini. So could you please like the video and subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back. Hello, Cancer. So Cancer, for you, you have Mars really getting comfortable in your 4th house of home, finance, security. And I see this as you feeling like things are being made right, because you're in your comfort zone, like you being in your element. And it's like the universe brings this beauty to the way, like, of your home, where you're at, to how you see yourself. It's starting to make sense, and it's going to be making sense. And then what's going to happen is if you didn't know how you were going to move forward, things were seeming, in limbo. Okay, so here we go. There's that same energy coming when it comes to Libra right now, especially for you. Yeah, you have to make the choice. It's all about you making a choice, because you have some decisions to make. I kind of see decisions too as Gemini. So, and choices as Gemini as well. So I don't really want to touch too much on that. But yeah, because you could be really trying to determine how you're going to do something to your home, where it might come to like redecorating or fixing something on your home or inside your home that maybe you noticed just recently or in the past, and now you're going to have that momentum to fix it, or you're going to be more focused on doing so, or actually putting that effort or the energy in to do so. Anything that you're doing around your home or in your home, whether it is working or just spending time there, when you get a chance, do so. Because what's going to happen is this is going to revitalize you, re-energize you, and give you more of that esteem when it comes to self-care. And I don't even know if I should say esteem, y'all, but really putting more emphasis into you doing self-care and actually focusing on what makes you secure. So definitely looking at your finances, and this is you too. Like, if you and your partner or that you could be in a relationship with, this could be you guys spending time at home or spending more time together, getting closer, reconnecting to each other as well. This is definitely here for you, because you got Mars inside your 4th house. So a lot of activity around your home environment, family interactions, moving towards that, then moving towards you. And there's definitely a beauty in this. Okay, I always got to talk about Libra in the beauty in having family. And some of you guys, if you need to utilize your family for support, or a partner, is someone that you're in a relationship with, or you're inside of some sort of close connection or affiliation with, then this could be beneficial for you to do so. But because Mars being in your sign, I really see you possibly having to do this for others, or it's not going to interfere with you much if this is something that you have to do. Typically when people come and they're looking for help or assistance in some type of way, it throws us off because we already have issue going on. Okay, with Mars being here in Libra, it's almost like you're willing to support when you as needed. So I also want to say that what is being triggered here as well is Leo being in your 2nd house of value, even bills, those type of situations, what it is that you want and what it is that you're trying to obtain and go after to get this security in Libra, with the Mars being in Libra, like all this working together. This is 6th house energy. It's coming together nicely. It's coming together as it should. Okay. You have Venus in your sign as well. So where you weren't feeling so clear, or you were feeling like asking yourself the question, am I making the right decision? You're going to see that, yes, you are, because you're going to feel at home with what you're doing. It's going to make sense. You're going to feel confident in what you're doing. I feel like as the more that you get information, the more you learn about what's needed and what's required, you're going to be good. Okay. So yes, this is great for you. Um, and I know you got a lot going on around you. You know, emotions thrown here, there, everywhere. But at this particular time, if you could just focus more on self-security, self-sustaining, you know, working with support, having support for family, even when it comes to a lover, and understanding who you are, what it is that you want, what it is that you're going for, that will help. Even though there's unpredictable situations going on around you and major changes that's happening, especially when it comes to your eighth house of stuff that you don't know. All right. This is not the time to run away from those things. This is the time to embrace those things and look at what you're finding out, what you're experiencing, what you're going through, what you're transforming into as a means of empowerment for you. Okay. All right. So I'll be back with other transits. For now, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back. Hello, Leos. Happy birthday, Leos, because it's definitely Leo season. You know, so a lot of energy surrounding who you are, what you wanted, who you are, how your life, how you're showing up for your life, the path that you're on, and how you're going to maximize off of that is coming back around to you. This is the thing. Mercury is retrograde. So with Mercury being retrograde, Leo, you don't really like that. Leo, you really like to be more in control of circumstances around you and how it's playing out. And through information. And when you feel like you don't have the proper information, it throws you off. You don't really like it. So things could be getting miscommunicated. Gossip could be going on with Mercury retrograde about you. And just people not really seeing and people kind of like seeing things the way that they want to see it. That is why it's important for you to not sit there and try to prove to people about what it is that you're doing, why, and all that. You really have to just take in what you take in, learn from it, and then apply it to yourself to make yourself better. But yes, there's some important insight that you really do need to know about the direction that you choose to head in, especially for when Mercury goes direct mid-August. Okay, so why? Mars is in your third house. So Mars in your third house, this is activating your mind, and there's a beauty in the way that you think. Okay, and this is the thing. Now, communication about what it is that you're thinking, communication about how your mind is working, getting things straight, communications cleared up, miscommunications cleared up, and all that will take place naturally because the opportunities are going to be there naturally. People are going to be more receptive because you have Mars going direct in your third house and Mars entering your third house and Mercury going direct. So Mars is going to be entering your third house on August the 6th. And then a couple days later, Mercury's going to go direct. So you get your thoughts together. You get the way that you're thinking together. Okay. So you know what it is like, and then this is going to be really, really good for you. This is also you being busy in like your immediate environment. And for you, I think that it's good for you. What's going to be best is that if you know where you're going and what you have to do before you actually leave out your house to go do it, because if not, there's going to be a lot of back and forth going around. Yeah, you're bumping into people, and you could be networking, using this as networking energy and opportunity as well for the ones of you that can use this or benefit from this transit in that way. But your mind is definitely active, and because it's active, for some of you guys, this could be like a real stimulant for anxiety or overstimulation, right? And especially like if you're taking in too many things, if you're giving too many F's about what other people have to say, it can definitely take you into a place of indecision and just, kind of feeling off beat and feeling disconnected in relationships and in those type of situations where you're being asked or you might need to reconnect with these people, especially like a lover. There's a significant focus on you and lovers, like people that you're in relationships with, your marriage partner, whoever, business, even it could be anybody. This is what I'm seeing here is that pursuing some sort of communication, having and engaging in some sort of communication makes things right. Could definitely assist and help in that. But people got to know what you're thinking, where you're coming from. I feel like, but not that you have to prove yourself to them. No. But there's a beauty in the way that your mind works right about now. So there's ideas coming towards you, and you can take the opportunities to use these ideas to actually put in motion to create some sort of change for yourself and, you know, what it is that you're trying to accomplish, even embarking on these type of or new opportunities or opportunities that's coming your way. But yeah, it'll definitely help if you have some sort of list or something for what errands you have to run, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do when you leave your house, because baby, it can have you all over the place. So yeah, and this is the thing. You also have changes that's going on for you in your 7th house of relationships as well. And it's deep transformative change. And where you're finding yourself at with these transits is in asking the question of, okay, so can you and your partner be on the same page? And for a lot of you, you may not be. And you have to be able to come to those terms and understand that, and then be able to move forward and readjust yourself and whatever that is that it looks like that you need to do accordingly. Okay. But like I said, communication can help in this situation. But since, you know, Aquarius can be so unpredictable, that element is still there. And Pluto is here. This is really you kind of coming back towards yourself, who you are, what you represent, what that looks like, all of that good stuff. This is what your relationships are taking you to back towards. Okay, so can't nobody really be mad. And in your 11th house, Uranus is sitting there. So, you know, really hitting and changing up who you're affiliating with, who you're identifying with, your friendship circles. So some of you guys can come across some like a really open mind, or some different people, some radically different people, and that might be the direction that you need to go in. All right. Okay, so thank you, Leo. Yeah, partnering up with those people and stuff too. Maybe even finding like a lover. Okay, so thank you, Leo. Guys, and this is like an online presence as well. I don't know if this is gossip online, entertaining gossip online. But that's definitely there because Uranus is in Gemini in your 11th house. That's about reputation as well. So some of you guys' reputation could be hit, whether good or bad. So just keep that in mind. Just to be aware of what it is that you're doing. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Leo. Have a great, wonderful, happy birthday. And until next time, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back. Virgo. Hi, Virgo. So we're back with the Mars transiting Libra transit, and this is happening in your 2nd house of what it is that you want. Okay, what it is that you want to obtain, the value that you see in yourself and others, financial situations, bills, you know, where your money's going in, going out. And for you, this could be something dealing with a partner or a lover. For you, for some of you guys, that's dealing with somebody, because you could possibly be paying some type of legal fees or something associated with a lover, or being made or held accountable for something that's affiliated with a lover or someone that you know or that you interact with in a partnered up sense. Okay, so that is there. But you are actually this is good when it comes to bills, or when it comes to something that you're trying to pay or you might be trying to purchase, because Mars is here. So it's really activating that 2nd house, ways to make money. Okay, increasing that, your financial value and financial net worth through working with others, through interacting with others, through networking with others. You know, listen, other people, our interactions with other people and our delivery and the way that we come off and how we work with them and interact with them, that goes a long way, you know? And so you're making these personal connections because you want to interact with other people. You want to interact with your lover, find out, get to the bottom of what is really going on, how we're going to make this situation better. And it really comes with, you know, trying to find ways financially. But another thing too, for a lot of you guys, especially like if you're, you know, looking for love, relationships, you might be requiring a lot from the people that you're meeting. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You might be really upping your standards with people that you are affiliating yourself with, or your approach to that. And I feel like that's great. And that happens through communication. You're like finding out what they're about and seeing if, are you guys on the same page or not? And even if you're not on the same page, with 100%, where can you guys meet and have some sort of general understanding, but it be beneficial for both of you guys, not just for one of you guys. Okay. So yeah. And if you're going through some sort of divorce, then you are going to be using this energy to actually pursue it or understand or find out how to divide up, valuables, things that you obtain through your partnership or your marriage with someone else. But yeah, you know, so this is the thing. You definitely can see some sort of financial focus, financial gains when it comes to, or fixing some sort of financial problem or situation. Let's say it's your credit or something like that. If you can make more money, then you're going to be able to fix your credit. So some kind of way that you're upping your value. And, you know, for some of you guys, you've already accomplished that goal, or you will be when Mars hits the second house. And this is a beautiful thing because you're going to be able to see those changes in your life, especially like when you can purchase property or purchase materials, goods, you know, have access to those resources. All right. You know, it's just a better quality of living for you. It's right now. Yeah. So I feel like that's the number one, or a very good focus for you guys. Also with work, there's changes and transformations going on with your work because you do have Pluto in the sign of Aquarius in your 6th house of work, and it's in alignment. It's trining Mars for you. So this is good because Mars could definitely work with Pluto to make sure that those changes that you're doing is affecting you in a positive way. So this is good because you're doing this through analytics, through information, through what you know, through legal documents, legal bindings. You're like, it's not something that you're just up and you're just coming up with. You know what's going on. Even if your job or your work is unpredictable in nature, and the changes that's being made is unpredictable, or the way that you make money is unpredictable, the goal is for you to transform, is to make changes and to readjust as needed. Wow. There's like all this noise is going on. Helicopters, planes, people doing the lawn. Okay, so I also wanted to bring this focal point, another aspect that's in alignment with your work and your assets is Uranus and Gemini in your 10th house. Okay, so yeah, lots of changes going on the career front with the way that you're being seen, and things could seem unpredictable in nature, but I feel like this is more about embracing that. When you see these instances of change coming up, yeah, be grounded. Don't let things just take you and throw you off path and just completely off course, unless that's what is intended to do. And you got to really figure that out depending on what group of Virgos that you belong to, what group that you're in, and how things are playing out in your life, So definitely insights and developments into how to make these changes, what you need to do and to apply to actually build your network, have financial gains and increase and uplift your value in the work that you do. So a lot of focus there. Okay, so thank you, Virgo, for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I want to be back. I'm going to be back to cover more planetary transits. Thank you. All right, so Libra. Wow, this is definitely transiting you really allowing you to move forward on the path that you are on and that you are destined on. So if you have been off track or feeling like you were not on the right path, you wanted to make changes, you feel like you made the wrong decision, however you want to put it, then this is the time to actually or to correct whatever you've done in order to go into the right direction. But yeah, you're moving forward. It's you, in order to do so, yeah, you're releasing. You could be moving away from other people, or anybody that is interfering or impeding on your ability to move forward the way that you need to, because for your own progression, they got like, you're not really paying them any attention right now. This is the thing. Saturn is sitting there in your 7th house as well. So either solidifying relationships and interactions with those people, or breaking it. Solidifying it or breaking it. So whatever Saturn is solidified, okay, so you get to move forward on your path, and that's it, and that's all. Whatever it didn't, then you can see like some sort of disturbances or little trial errors here when it comes to relationships or people that you're connecting with. You can definitely see that right about now. These people can almost act or come off like an enemy with the way that some of them are acting. And it's like, you see it, you've been shown these things by Saturn. And, yes, by the restrictions that Saturn is feeling like it's placing there, Saturn's not really placing restrictions. Saturn's just saying, listen, here you are. This is what you want. This is the direction that you're trying to go in. You're trying to move away from everything that does not pertain to that. Because evidently, if it does not pertain to that, then it's directly opposing you. Why do you want to deal with it? This really is about yourself. Some of you guys are going to be making changes to your image, or to your presence, like what it is that you're pursuing. Maybe reigniting some sort of passion, like you're going to start to feel a little bit more energized as well. And you're going to feel that the energy is actually going along with where you're trying to go. It's going along with it. It's being perceived. How do I know? Because you do have Pluto transiting your 5th house. And this is, you can see your kids go through changes too, significant changes, all right? Because they're growing up, or certain developmental milestones that they're experiencing. This could be like you working with children, and it could make you want to have children. Whatever these changes here that Pluto is doing, or even not have children, because you might look at things from a deeper perspective, and you might be like, okay, so if I'm not financially stable or where I want to be, why would I have children? That's really thoughtful, Libra. But so what I'm trying to say though is, so there's changes here, and because of certain experiences that you're having, because of maybe certain places that you're putting yourself into now that you want to benefit off of, you might be making changes to like your expression, your uniqueness, how you present yourself, who you're involved with, love, relationship wise. And the Pluto transit Aquarius could be telling you, or making it so that you really put your best foot forward. Like you see after yourself first before you can say about getting with anybody. Okay, because here we go. We got Gemini also, that's in your 9th house of your Uranus is sitting there of experiences. Is all aligning for you. The changes that you're seeing yourself make, the process of it, maybe people didn't understand it, maybe they don't get it, whatever the case may be, you're still, whatever these experiences that you're having is taking you somewhere different. Okay, it's really allowing you to move forward. You got to be able to see the vision. And some of you guys might, traveling might be something that's good. Getting yourself in different environments is also something that's going to be good, around different people. Traveling, studying like spirituality or some form of religion. I'm not really typically into religious studies like that and practices, but higher education as well. But that a lot of people are. And it's like, what I'm looking at this as, whatever makes you steady and gets you on the right path that you're trying to go towards, I see beauty in that. I really see Libra over the next 7 years, and you could definitely see results before that. You're really going to be going places. Like, I don't know whether some of you guys might relocate altogether to a different place. You might become experienced, like an experienced counselor, or in different areas. Like, it doesn't matter. Experienced in travel, enlightened to the nth degree, because that's what all of these interactions that you're having is preparing you for. I see a lot of Libra, Scorpio, and Geminis being extremely successful. And, Sagittarius possibly as well. But, I'm leaning more towards those ones that I have named, I've called out. That I know, like, off top, from just doing you guys' readings or looking at the transits over time. Okay? So, thank you so much, Libra. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back doing more planetary transits. Hello, Scorpios. Scorpios, lovely Scorpios. Where is this happening for you? Okay, so we're going back down to your 12th house with this Mars and Libra transit. So this is something that I feel like is just uncomfortable for you. But the thing about it, where we're going to, I see a lot of good intimate time with a lover or partner, or even chances of some sort of private, personal, hidden relationship as well, like an affair or affairs. Maybe if that's something you're involved in, then that might be getting exposed, or you might be, I'm not even going to say exposed right now, but you might be involving yourself in it, vice versa. I'm just saying, I just look at the consequences of everything, but that's there. But I kind of feel like you are, let's go to something positive. Mars been in your 12th house. You're fearing this. Where the path is taking you, how you're traveling, it's like going through the darkness. Could you just imagine that? Like moving through a dark foreign place that you're unfamiliar with, or you don't even understand how you're going to even navigate it, or what's going on as you navigate it, what's going on in the room, what's going on in the tunnel, however you want to put it. But you're having to do so anyways. Some of you might not. Some of you will. And this is, I feel like this, like on the inner level, that these are some situations or some matters or some issues that you have to confront. And I really do feel like you are. Because this is information coming across, secretive, hidden information, learning about it. That could be like spirituality. That could be, something hidden that you could be becoming privy of as well. Well, life hacks. What's always good about Scorpio is that you're able to take your experiences or what it is that you have went through, and you're able to help other people transform from their lives with it. But you have to be a Scorpio that's actually stepped up to transform your life. And I kind of feel like that's happening for a lot of you guys, whether young, whether old, because you're also ruled by Mars. But this is the thing with Mars and Libra here. There is some sort of talent. Now, this is your partner in relationships or something. I want to go here first. Like that, your partner could be hospitalized or having to deal with some sort of mental or emotional issues or situations that you might have to assist them in. Or you could be dealing with people that's having these issues, and vice versa. Like you might have to get some sort of assistance, like if you're having emotional breaks or breakdowns. Like the 12th house is dealing with our subconscious, is dealing with hidden aspects of our subconscious and our emotional state of being that really kind of feel outside of our control, and it can really trap us into a position or a place or a state of mind and put us in a depressive state if we feel like we can't get out of that. This is you moving through those issues if you allow yourself to do so. In different different. Okay, one thing we don't want to do, we don't really want to go towards vices like drinking and doing like antidepressants and other substances. We don't want to go towards that. But some of you guys could be getting treated with antidepressants or someone that you know. Now, that's not really my central focus. I just wanted to bring that up because for some reason it's showing up for me. However, I feel you actually understanding the beauty. There's a beauty in this the spiritual aspect, the things, the unknown for you. And as you navigate it, things become known, especially in the month of, or especially during this Mars and Libra transit more than anything. This is good for you because with Mars here, you get that energy to go through the dark, to come out on the other side. You get that energy to see, look and see, like, okay, so what's hidden here? What do I need? And face it, what do I need to recognize and what do I need to see? Some of you guys could definitely find out that you have, or other people are going to be finding out, you're going to be presenting it, that you have some sort of hidden talent. And I don't know why you're not pursuing. I kind of feel like you're just in this, whatever is a comfort zone for you. But you're talking, you're speaking, you're communicating, but you're moving in a way that is responsible for aiding and initiating your own healing process or your healing process. This is great. I mean, I feel like this coincides alongside of, you know, in your eighth house of yourself, the changes that's going on with you, the changes that you're making with yourself, huge awareness. But I always feel like, well, people tend to feel like Scorpios is just so aware. Like when you know, they have situations or run-ins with y'all, they're like, okay, yeah, you know what you're doing. You purposely hurt me, whatever the case may be. And I come to this conclusion. Yeah, Scorpios do know that when they're actively seeking revenge on you or when their focus is there. When it's not, it's just not. But either way that plays out, what tends to happen is it could come off as something that you're not aware of. Like it's like, okay, well, I'm not really aware, because you look at it in terms of, okay, so once I cut you off or once you've effed me over, I really don't care either way how the chips may fall. As a matter of fact, I might go and help you fall. You know, and it's still coming from a place of, you know, you being a victim in a situation. Or it could literally be you're not really thinking about what happened. You just know it didn't feel good. Well, these transits is really getting you to really think about, and this is where people mess up at. This is where you get your get back for real. This is where it benefits you. When you can do this, when you can just really say, listen, I'm thinking about this myself. I'm thinking about my psychological well-being and my emotional well-being. And I'm seeing where these instances are coming up that I'm feeling emotional. And now all of a sudden I want to take matters into my hand by giving myself choices and recognizing those choices. And not only that, learning about them, but communicating about them, but utilizing them. This changes your money. This changes who you are, and it changes your money and finance, especially ones of you guys that want to go into business. You want to be therapists. You want to be counselors. Whatever. You can advise people however you want to put it. Money. Other people's money. And I'm not saying that you're doing this to get other people's money. I'm saying that the reward. There's systems of reward, like dealing with behaviors. You're taught to reinforce a certain type of behavior. When you're dealing with men, you're taught to reinforce when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You reinforce them. You don't just, so this works to shape people. The universe is using this to shape you, to have you go through these transformations, and it's freaking big. I keep saying this. I will add the other transits I've done, like for Venus and Cancer, and then like the August planetary transits to the end of this video, so you can just go click on them and watch them. I keep saying this about Scorpios, some of you guys, and it's not going to take long, because do you not understand that the universe understands each sign? This is an intelligent system. I'm like, people that don't get that underestimates the whole thing. It's in the plan. So this is right now for all the developments that's happening in the way that the universe wants us to evolve and change. And we have to. We got whole tsunamis breaking down the land masses, like causing things, the tectonic plates to shift Our whole earthly foundation is changing. Why would people be asked to stay the same? Because you can't. We can't. So as soon as you can get these revelations and apply them to your life and do it, the quicker you're going to see things change. And I am telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, a lot of y'all are going to be extremely successful. Hey, I'm just a messenger. A lot of y'all, and I'm telling you, especially you young ones, if y'all have, this could be you that's looking, or your kids that's one. Help them out. help them out, because they're gonna need a little bit of motivation. They got fear here. They tend to be hidden. Now, I'm not saying that if you're older in age that you can't succeed in this. No, you freaking too. You too. And I'm going to tell you why. It's why I focus a lot of my energy on saying, hey, the younger generations, because they are less likely to be stuck in ways. They're not programmed like a lot of older people are. That's why I say that. But if you're older, you can utilize this too. Being in tune with yourself, being in tune with your intuition. Something might tell you, go do a scratch off, and you might win. I'm just telling you. Okay, so yeah, this is, I am so, especially like when you get to your season, it's coming up in the next few months. But I'm just so excited to see this play out for you and how it's going to play out. Okay, and and then where else do you have changes at? Your 4th house. Some of you guys might be having some sort of changes to your home. Think something can happen to it, or you're doing some sort of renovations or something on that. For some of y'all, it's going to get into real estate or something like that, and you're renovating homes. Like you're destroying them or you're tearing them down to reinvent something else, to recreate something else. Some of y'all need to get into reconstruction. Reconstruction real estate, baby. And then, I see this too, like whatever is happening where you're at, upgrades and developments that might have to happen, you might have to relocate yourself as well. But this is personal developments as well, and your security in you, because the 4th house is the house of self. And I ain't going to say it no more. Listen, I want to say thank you, Scorpios, for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. Hello, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, for you have Mars. For this Mars and Libra transit, it is definitely taking place in your 11th house of affiliations, associations, and friendships. So yeah, in the internet, you might be really active on the internet, especially like if you do work on there. Like this could be, let's say you have to do schoolwork, you could be busy doing that on there. Let's say you have to do something, you do online stuff, you're gonna be busy with that on there. Let's say you're looking for love and relationships online, or you're interacting with somebody there. There's that on that. You and people in romantic situations could like make an effort to close in the distance, or there could be distance there. So I just want to make that known. And it just depends on what it is that you're doing and, what it is that you're being active in right now, whether it's bringing these situations together or like, bringing some distance, especially for now. But let me tell you, there is something about you, like you're networking and you're getting yourselves in different groups and different circles, because that's what you want to be doing anyways. And these people though, whoever's in these different groups and these different circles that you're coming around, they're finding you particularly impressive because they feel like it's beauty in who you are and possibly what you do and the way that you go about your execution of what it is that you do. So they're interested. Okay. And some of you guys could be making new friends as well, and going actively seeking out, making some sort of long, I hate saying this, and I might find some other terminology about for this, about accomplishing your dreams or going after your dreams or pursuing your dreams, because it sounds more like goals. But then you look at goals more in the 10th house. But I see this as like, yeah, you actually pursuing and going after your goals, because pursuing and going after your goals is what makes your dreams come true. And then just unexpected events. This energy could just unexpectedly put you in a position where you come across a partner, like somebody that you actually partner with, or that you actually get in some sort of relationship with, just by this transit coming up. Now, you got a lot going on, because you do have this is the thing, when it comes to your relationships and your partnerships in the 7th house, like your actual 7th house of Gemini, you have Uranus there. That's really coming in and cranking up that unpredictability with people. Your taste and what you're usually interested in is changing. Some of y'all, you might be black, and you might be a black girl, you might get with a white dude, or someone from, it's not really different culture, but since you're the sign of Sagittarius within itself, it's already that there. You might get with African, Jamaican. You could be a white girl and get with a Middle Eastern person or an Asian person. You could be a black dude, white dude, and get with an Asian chick, or let's say that the culture is just different. The culture is just different. You could find somebody a white dude and get with someone that is from Italy. You could be a black dude and get with someone that's Jamaican, that's African, however you want to put it. Or you could get with somebody that's the same as you, in looks and culture, but y'all had different life experiences, or just the unpredictable circumstances around y'all getting together is because you're living your life, you're going about your experiences, and then you come together with each other. But it's definitely, these situations and these people could come off like they're opposing you. So what do you want to do? It depends on the Sagittarius that you are. And I stated this in the Venus transit in Cancer video that I'm going to actually add to the end of this video, in August transits that I'm going to add to the end of this video, so you can go click on it, so you can go watch it if you have not. That gives the answers to these reasons why. But, and how you do it, how you can navigate it. Because you might be a Sagittarius to where you're just like standing strong, standing on your ground, because you see like these people turning into your enemies, almost like they're going against you all of a sudden, or going against you, and you're just like, I don't understand why these people are going against me. And you have two different aspects of that. It's like one group of Sagittarius is standing up against them and standing strong and speaking their truth and being who they are. The other group is like, okay, well, this is affecting my business, and because especially like if you're a Sagittarius, to where what you're doing, you're checking it and you're seeing that, okay, you know what, actually what I'm doing and how I'm doing is moving against me. And it that doesn't mean that this is what's going on. It depends on what group you're in. So you could alleviate the situation, listen here, by actually making connections with these people. Because even though you're different, and even though you have different experiences, you could find something that connects you with them. I'm just saying. And you have significant changes going on in your 3rd house already. So your siblings can have significant changes going on with them, or what they're going through. But your mind definitely is. And also you're being made uncomfortable by the typical way that you usually do things. Like in your normal everyday life, in your normal mind of things, in your normal environment, you could be finding different ways and different routes to get to your job, or like, to get to your job, get to your work, to get to, like, going to different stores, trying out different places that you hadn't before, frequenting different places that you have not before. But just because, like, whatever's happening in your everyday life, like the way that your immediate surroundings, it's something about it that's uncomfortable. It's like changes going on there. This could be like a lot of construction work and stuff in the road as well. So, making sure that you keep that in mind. But the changes are putting you in positions that you would not typically be in. That's the whole thing. And it's causing you to act differently, to do something different. But it's going to act as something beneficial for you in an unpredictable sense. Coming across the level, like I said. Coming across different affiliations. And yes, your affiliations could make or break you right now. I get it. But no, I really see you as utilizing yours in a different place, in a different way that's beneficial for you, and actually coming out of something that you've always wanted, but you did not do or could not do, you could not pull off, or different reasons why you didn't. And then now you're going to try to do so and pull it off. You got the recipe for it. This isn't even, should you focus on yourself? Yeah. I mean, you have, what's going to bring this clarity for you, this absolute clarity for you, is Mercury being in the sign of Leo. It's direct. It's causing you to bring things back to yourself and be like, look at things from another perspective and look at things like very much so in a way that you've seen, like where your health isn't good, where you haven't been true to yourself, where you can do things different. So you can be more creative. You can do things different. You can express yourself different. You can do something. You can add something, bring something to the table that other people can't bring. And then when it goes direct in the mid-August, you own it. You own it. Okay, so Sagittarius, thank you for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. All right, so hello Capricorn, how are you? Thank you for clicking on the video, listening to what I got to say about this Mars and Libra transit. Mars and Libra. Mars is transiting Libra for you in your 10th house of you. This is great. Mars is transiting Libra when it comes to you and your forward movement on a goal or something that you have been working at for a while, or even beginning on that path. Either way is going to be beneficial for you. And let me tell you, everything, every struggle, every challenge, every resistance could have stopped you at one point in time, could have scared you at one point in time, could have been challenging for you. But you're going to see the beauty in why you had it happen. Because it shaped you into who you are today. And you have some sort of momentum being re-stirred up in this area. And you're going to be working with people. And you're going to be helping with people. See, this is the thing. Because typically, Capricorn works with other people anyways. That's not the issue. But I feel like what's been happening with you guys lately is that you've witnessed yourself going through so many different changes. And it was an inward thing. Other people may or may not know that this is what was happening to you. And what it did was it brought some sort of awareness to you. And where you awoken and you just saw where really you're self-sabotaging yourself. You see where you weren't really even looking at things clear in what happened. Instead of you being in control of the direction that you went in, you looked and like improving it from a stance of power. You looked at it as you were being controlled by circumstances in life. Giving away your power. Not standing in your power. Ultimately, what comes? Stagnation comes. But the point is that all along the way, people saw you or see you as this great or renowned person. Even when you felt like at your worst or felt people were looking at you bad or whatever, no. Even if they were, they weren't. They weren't. But there's certain things that you couldn't see, you couldn't understand. Like you were actually restricting yourself from your joy. When we restrict ourselves from our joy, it's hard for us to escalate in life. It's hard for us to level in life. It's hard for us to live the life that we want because we're looking at life from a disadvantage. And what brings us joy in life? Love, a lot of times, our purpose. But that was something that you had to realize. I feel like you knew it, but you didn't know it. It was something about it you didn't know because you just feel like so challenged in these areas. So if I'm so challenged in these areas, how is that my area? How is that what I'm supposed to be doing? But somewhere along the way, this could have been like in a recent past or like distant or recent past. It doesn't really matter. You started to really look at things and what you really wanted in life and versus what you didn't have and what you came to the understanding of. And I know this by transit. This is what I do. What you came to the understanding of is that the most meaningful parts of your life and that you wanted, you were missing out on it because you were stuck in a powerless position. I don't care if you did have position. I don't care if you did have authority and you were the boss of something or the CEO. That's not what I mean. We could be the boss of something and the CEO and we can know all the people that we want to know. We can make good money. But if you're missing something, if you are lacking something, that element that completes your fulfillment or what we really want to go towards, it makes those experiences, you can't really enjoy those experiences. You can't really enjoy them. And you recognize that you wanted meaning in your life and fulfillment. And the way that you get that is through actually feeling. And let me tell you what you did. You felt yourself first. Because instead of you from this I'm on the bottom type energy, and let me prove why I'm not, and you started saying, wait a minute, let me actually look at this for what it is. Let me really check into how I feel instead of being systematic about it. Let me really check into how I feel. And when you checked into how you felt, you realized that you did not feel good. And this is, Capricorns already could be fascinating, and you can be extremely successful, especially over time. Capricorns can already be those things. And that's why Capricorns can face challenge after challenge after challenge. That's why they remove their emotions out of it and become systematic. Because when you have your emotions involved, you're less likely to stick to something. It's just true. You're more likely to give up because you'll feel. This is how they become successful, because over time, they're just like, okay, I took a hit, but I'm going to keep going. It just because Capricorns just start acting like, okay, well, here's just another thing that's happening to me, and never really facing it, never really confronting it. And then you got to the place of where because you've iced out that part of yourself for so long, but then you got to the place of where you couldn't anymore because you came back around to see like how things have affected you up into a certain point. And when you did that, you started recognizing how you were hurt for real. And how you were disappointed for real. And how you didn't really want to be isolated for real. And some of you guys are just finally deciding to, or you did just previously, deal with a traumatic situation or traumatic situations that really hurt you, and that and it really, the feelings of that, and actually coming to terms with it and confronting it, or just allowing it to happen. And what happened was you realized you wanted to go towards what was meaningful for you. All the rest of the stuff, even if you lost something significant, it's like all the rest of the stuff, it's not that you don't care about it, but you're like, it don't even mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It don't mean nothing. It didn't provide, it couldn't stop me from experiencing the experiences I did, or losing this person or that person. It didn't stop me from, only thing it did was stop me from just being free and living a life that I wanted to live, and having that confidence in doing so, because you do have Leo in your 8th house. Subconscious emotional transformation. And what happened, Capricorn, because I'm not done with you yet. What happened, what we see happening with you, was you come into this awareness, and then what you start to see and make the full complete. They ain't gonna be able to do nothing with you now, because you're making a whole complete connection to what fulfillment really looks like, what it really is. And I'll be darned. it'll be no stopping a lot of y'all now. If you can grasp this, it could be no stopping a lot of y'all now, because even with Mars in Libra, here with your 10th house, it's like you created this formula. Now it's you want to put yourself in a position of doing what you love, continuing on, but other people, looking at people in a very humane way. Now, don't take what I'm saying personally to the point of where you think that I'm trying to say you don't understand how to look at people in a humane way. Like you don't look at, like you don't know how to take care of people, or you treat people bad. That's not what I'm saying specifically. But what I am saying is that a lot of your approach is so systematic that it doesn't even dawn on you the way that you could be treating people. It could just come off as real selfish, but you're really protecting yourself. And you realize that wasn't the way that you wanted to live, and that wasn't the way that you want to go, because in actuality, you're cutting yourself off. Because when you do that type of stuff to people, yeah, they feel it. Don't get me wrong, but they still go along with their life. Like after a certain point, they start doing the stuff that they want to do. They start living life, and it don't even really matter. But you still stuck with that stuff. You still hold on to it. And it stunts your growth, and it prevents you from, it just attaches you to things, and you wonder why certain things are not working, or when it does, it's still not enough. Letting go of those things was the answer. And here you are. There was a beauty. You see, there was a beauty in that. Now, some of you guys, if you are experiencing some sort of divorce or anything in terms of other people, like taxes, some sort of settlement, alimony, all of that, there you should go about it the legal way. There's legal aspects or representations that is coinciding with this, and you might decide to get a divorce, but there's paperwork. Like, there's a lot of legal stuff coming up that, or your spouse may be deciding to divorce you, and if that's not a spouse thing, let's say you're not, there might be certain partnerships that you are actually reuniting with, or moving towards something different. It doesn't really matter, but these partnerships and these relationships could, if like, they can come together too for the ones of you that want that. Listen, that works in your favor. But there's other people that's there, as ready, they're showing up, they want to assist you in your goals. They want to assist you. And this is the thing, even the way that you're being seen publicly for this, it could be questionable to some people, but it's great for you. They love it. Okay. This ain't the time. Don't stop yourself now. You decided you're not holding on to none of this stuff anymore. And there is a beauty in that. You being seen as a beautiful person. You being seen as a beautiful person inside and out. You been seen as living your truth. Daggone it. Wow. Y'all making me emotional. And this is the thing. And I get it. You have so many changes that you're going through, like at work. Things are changing for you. You might have an unexpected job come in, and this could be through who you know, or just even it's through who you know, or just you deciding to take power back in these matters in your own hand and just embrace these changes. Some of you guys could be changing the work that you do altogether, or how you do it, and it's going to be proven to be so effective for you. You got the next 7 years, and since this is in a money house for you too, y'all could be either not work. It depends on who you are. You could be either not working at all, like retired or something, or just quit working at all and living on just the minimal life materials. So it's not necessarily about getting rich. It's just about being able to maintain for you. Or some of y'all that really take things to the next level could become rich. I said this to Scorpio. I said this to Gemini. Because the ones that I told this to was Libra. Because Libra for sure. I said this to Gemini. I've said this to Scorpio, and I was like, in Sagittarius, but no, I said this about Capricorn too, and I said, I believe Capricorn. Yeah. Oh yeah. The more that you do not limit yourself. Now, some of you guys could appear unhinged, We don't want to go all the way overboard to where you're just being self-destructive. No. But we do want to break free energy. We do want that. And you have changes also happening in your second house. So it could come off as like you losing stuff possibly. But if not, really, I'm telling you, the changes that's happening in your second house, that's going on in your second house, is upping your value, upping your net worth, upping your game. If you want to tear that down and live bare minimum, you can do that as well. But if you want to take it to the next notch, it's a very unpredictable chances that you have to take, and it's going to be chances that go in your favor. Period. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I've been on you long enough, but, you know, I feel like I needed to. But yes, thank you, Capricorn, for watching, and please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back doing more planetary transits. Hello, Aquarius. So, Aquarius, you have Mars transiting your 9th house. So, you know, this is in your 9th house of travel. Okay, so some of you guys might be traveling. You got like a little trips coming up. You could be interested into foreign actions, like foreign trading, you know, foreign people, but some technique, because I see some of you guys learning some technique, teaching. Some of you guys will be really good at teaching right about now, going back to school, higher education. You know, if you're doing a resume or something of that sort for a job, your experiences, making sure that you're listing your experiences of what it is that you have done, because you could definitely get a call back because of that alone. Some of you guys, people are seeing beauty in like what it is that you know and how you know it, and you're telling them, and you're understanding that you know it through your experience. So you are approved to act in the way that you are. You are approved in teaching what you teach or learning what you learn. Some of you guys, you got a little bit more to learn. I'm not gonna lie, because the way that Mars is sitting inside of your 9th house, but you're pursuing that. Like I said, you know. However, listen, I'm seeing a lot of Aquariuses in strong places right now. And listen, and this is you know, this is even with, you could be traveling with a lover as well. And they might be, or you meet somebody that's interested in whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah, like y'all might have different backgrounds or something like that, but even age gaps, it doesn't matter, but you know, that's there. And yeah, you listen, people, yeah, not only do they find you attractive, but they, because of like your knowledge, okay, because of what you know or what you're willing to know, because this is who you are, listen, that they found, that's beauty there. Things are being made right for you right about now, Aquarius, because sometimes Aquarius can take a lot of hits. You can come up unexpectedly. You can live the life that you want. You can get what you want. But typically, Aquarius lives to grant other people their wishes in life and assist people in that. What is yours? Now, you have Uranus inside of your 4th house. No, inside of your 5th house. Okay? Uranus is there. You're sharpening. You're finding out who this is. Like, you're showing up. You're the leader. You got the skill set. You're sharpening your skill sets. You're getting into some sort of hobbies that you're interested in. Some of you guys might end up having kids or preparing for that over the next 7 years. But you're learning how to embrace your unique self. Some of you guys are teaching other people how to do that because you're able to. And you're going through changes, and it's definitely looks good on you. So yeah, definitely. You got a lot of movement when it comes to travel, when it comes to learning, higher education. Some of you guys are picking up on some sort of spirituality or religion and really relying on that or pursuing that or being in that element and allowing it to show you what it shows you in order for you to get yourself back on the right path, or just, you know, take you to the next level. You're just living. Okay, and being creative and seeing what happens in the process. You're just living. All right, so yeah. All right. So thank you, Aquarius, for joining me for this particular transit. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back for more coverage of planetary transits. Hello, Pisces. So Pisces, you have Mars in Libra transiting your 8th house. So yeah, some of you guys, y'all got that little sexy vibe going on to where, you really feeling you feeling like taking things deep and being serious. Okay. So I feel like some of you guys can come back in partnership, like in a marriage that needed to be brought back together, or you guys needed to redefine what that looked like for both partners, bringing income together. If the ones of you to get married or you get together with somebody, you're going to be living more better, making more money because you're both bringing in income. And that might be a focus as well that you would like to have happen, but it's definitely there and it's definitely possible, and you definitely could. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's a lot of emotional significance to what you're experiencing right now as well. And you got to make sure you sort things out. You got to make sure you pay attention legally to business and financial aspects, making sure you pay them taxes and handling the financial aspect of it. But some of you guys might get some sort of a financial loan approved. And this might be good because this might be what you're looking for, especially when you got to try to make changes in your home situation, family situation, and insecurity. Okay, this could be something that you could be waiting on, and it might be some type of ruling or judgment as well in your favor, or that you're trying to go through first to see where it is that you stand. Now, interesting enough, there's beauty there. There's in the hidden parts of yourself. I kind of feel like there's a lot to Pisces that's hidden from yourself even. But I feel like what's happening is you're pursuing those inner parts of yourself and bringing that out, and it's changing your life and possibly changing the lives of others. So it's definitely an emotional aspect because it's not something that's directly easy. You went through a lot to be able to get to this point. And that's what's triggering you. That's what you're thinking about. And that's why you're just like, I can't never go back. And Pluto in the 12th house of you, drastic changes that you're making on yourself, that it could seem a little outlandish to some people depending on what Pisces you are. Because let's even look at Krishan. Krishan is a Pisces. And she's, now saying that she's transitioning. And call her Christopher. I don't know how real that is, guys. Like, if that's something she's just doing as a stunt, I can't really say. But that's the type of change. You see how that's a drastic change. But who can really, it's another one too. I cannot think of her name right now. But she was on Basketball Wives, and she was married to Kevin Gates for a short period of time. She turned Muslim. Why can't I think of this girl's name? She's Pisces as well. But she made that transition back to herself. It's confusing to you guys because you're just like, I don't know how to handle this energy because I don't know who I am. But you're figuring it out. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like. You're figuring it out. And some of you guys is not to that extent. But what you're ultimately learning of who you really are. You didn't really, I don't care what you say, Pisces, you didn't really know what that was. Now you yes, narcotics and stuff like that could come into play for some, but not everybody. This is spiritual enlightenment as well. And it's about what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to face. So yeah, Brittany Renner, and that girl she's a pretty girl. Can't take that away from her. Those are just her experiences, and she's learning. Will I change myself because I felt like that's what somebody else wanted me to do, and now I'm changing myself back? I am glad that she decided to change herself back versus just stick there and just because out of pride. That's what I can say about daggone Pisces. And she changed herself back, and she looking darn good. Okay. And also, see, this is the thing. In your 6th house too, Mercury is definitely retrograde, but it's working alongside of this stuff that you're figuring out. And what it's doing is as you figure out what you want to do or who you are, you figure out what you want to do or how you want to pursue it. This is good when it comes to being confident enough to approach that, and being confident enough following your heart, teaching your kids, being unique, really standing in that. Because some of you guys, some people, some situations you was dealing with made you question that about yourself. So we getting back to normal here. We getting back to living you and doing you, okay? But yes, so thank you, Pisces, for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back with more planetary transits. Thank you.